Hey, welcome to Garden Fork Radio. My name is Eric. I am your host.
Good morning, Eric. How are you, my friend? It sounded a little down. I thought I'd better help you out a little bit.
Thank you. Yes. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Garden Fork Radio. It's the eclectic DIY show. It's me and my friends talking about what we hope you find interesting, eclectic, DIY-ish things. Today we're going to start with Rick setting his fence on fire and then flat tire repair kits.
Oh, see, I was going to say that it should be flaming bags of dog poop, but that's a great title for it.
Well, that's what it will be. Then that's what it will be. And people will be like, what did they do now?
Yeah. First of all, I just want to tell you how delightful it is every time you and Nicole get together. And I got some comments later. Maybe we'll talk about Bob, lineman Bob, and his experiences. I like hearing about Bob as well.
He has such a obvious take on things. You know, it's like, oh, there's this bedlam going on all around him, and he's like, okay, well, hook up your phone.
Yeah. Oh,
he's great.
Anyway. Yeah. Yesterday, as most people know, as a Thanksgiving and Christmas tradition, I cooked the turkey outdoors. You get the turkey out of the oven, and it makes everything else that goes with holiday cooking so much easier.
Yeah.
And so I cook it out on the grill, and I use the indirect method. You know, you put a drip pan underneath the turkey. You put piles of charcoal on either side of it. And, of course, you set the charcoal on fire, and then it heats the turkey when you close the lid. So far, so good. The part that got me in trouble this time is you got to go out every hour and add more coals to the pile. And my pile was looking my coal pile was looking like it wasn't burning very well. And so I had just a traditional quilted kitchen mitten, oven mitten on my hand. And I reached down, I just patted them a little bit. And you can get away with that, you know, like fire walking or something. And so I patted them, and I noticed that, you know, the kitchen mitt was smoldering just a little bit, and I, bumped it out, I thought, and everything. And after I finished, I just set the mitt on top of the grill, and I didn't account for it was a front blowing in, a very dry, cold front this time. We call it a backdoor front. It came in from the northeast.
Uh-huh.
And it blew the kitchen mitt onto the ground and into the leaf litter. And then the kitchen mitt, as they apparently are wont to do, decided that, it was just like blowing on embers, and that wind blowing on it through the fence, because it's a basket weave fence, so you don't get a lot of wind blocking. And it started flaming. And of course, I had gone back inside to do something. And
where's the security camera footage? That's what I want to see.
I hadn't thought about that. I'll check that out. And so the leaf litter, of course, caught on fire, which is up against the fence, because if anyone who knows me knows that I'm the most lazy human being in the world. And so I hadn't raked it away from the fence. And so it caught on fire because it's been very dry lately. And it burned underneath my it's the most wonderful trash can I've ever owned. I finally brought one of those Rubbermaid Brute trash cans, the kind of medium gray, soft plastic with has a roller, 4-wheel roller on the bottom.
Yes.
Best trash can I've ever owned in my life. And apparently, once fire gets underneath it, they melt like brie in an oven. I mean, and the bottom melted out of it. And that was bad.
And expensive.
And expensive, but inside is what really caused the problem because, we put all kinds of stuff in our trash can, and it includes lots of, the trays, the drippings from under the turkey.
Oh.
We don't use them for anything. I put them in there, so there was one of those in there from Thanksgiving, and it very greasy turkey this time, so there was a lot of grease in that pan. And then there were some pieces of cardboard from where I cooked hamburgers, and I put the boxes in there, and so that was good kindling. And on top of that, because we're good dog owners, we picked up the backyard on a regular basis, and I had sacks of dog poo in there, and I ended up with just this amazing flambeau. Sacks of flaming dog poo as my expensive trash can melted to the ground and into a puddle and melted itself to the patio. I have no idea how I'm going to get that off over there. And in the meantime, the wind is carrying the fire and the leaf litter up my fence.
Is it a wood or plastic fence?
It's a wood fence. And so it's carrying the fire up and up my fence and along the fence toward my neighbor's shed. And it's kind of like having a Yule log. I thought, well, it's that time of year. We'll, and, the winter solstice and everything. And so my Gail calls me a little upset, and she says, the fence is on fire. And so I go running out there, and we live on a cemetery behind us.
Right.
And there are people on Christmas Day that come out and clean graves of loved ones that have passed and stuff. And there was this very nice young man from Canada, it turns out, who had conveniently called the fire department because he couldn't get our attention inside the house, and because there's no gate or anything to get in there and bang on our door. And so my fence is burning, the poo is burning. The fire is being carried in the direction of my neighbor's shed, a wooden shed, which has been there about 100 years.
Oh, perfect.
And it would have gone up. It's underneath a pine tree. And of course, pine trees are designed to catch fire easily. The needles the sap in the needles is designed to do that, so they flash up quick. And the idea is, in a little fire like mine, they flash up and sacrifice the needles, and the trunks usually live, and the litter around the tree, all that stuff that's growing, will burn away, and the tree actually does better because of that. Oh. And so it's burning underneath the pine tree. Oh, and we have one of the few longleaf pines in the neighborhood. It's actually on the cemetery side. And longleaf pines used to be the indigenous pine here when the settlers first came. And it is amazingly flammable, which is the reason that there are no more longleaf pines around. And so I'm out there getting the hose charged and getting this fire knocked down, trying to decide which is more important, saving my neighbor's shed, keeping it away from the pine, or knocking down the fire, which is growing even taller on the fence. And then, so I finally get all that kind of taken care of, and I, had Gail, she who must be obeyed, with a rake, raking the leaf litter away so it's not smoldering so much and going to reignite in places I'd already worked. So I'm working about maybe a 50-foot length here of fire underneath bushes and all kinds of stuff, so it's hard to get to. And I get it all knocked down, and of course, then the fire department shows up. And they come and they look and they say, "Oh, okay." And they left because I guess they had another swimming pool to save or something. And so it was a really kind of a mess. And so now I've got a charred fence. I had to keep a fire watch on it the rest of the day. This happened around 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
Because the wind is blowing.
Because the wind is blowing. So I had to keep a fire watch the rest of the day and into the night. And for some reason, the fire department wouldn't stay and keep an eye on my fence for me. And and then the young Canadian guy on the other side, he was from Montreal. And we had a nice chat. He's an engineering student. And I passed him the hose. And so he was knocking down the hose on the other side of the fence for me. And, it was we had a hot time in the old town, I'll tell you.
From a flaming oven mitt, basically.
Yeah, an oven mitt. The thing is, if I had used my other hand, because I have two, because you got to have two to lift the handles and stuff. The other one is actually designed to be a barbecue mitt. It's good to it's not inflammable. That means it works. I've never understood that word.
Yes.
Somebody should let me know. But it is. It will burn. It does not burn, or it does not burn easily. It's good to about 1,500 degrees or something, and does not transmit heat. And so you can handle coals and shape them and that kind of thing with that mitt. And if I'd used the other hand, none of this would have happened. But I reached down, I just patted them just a little bit, and it was enough to set my mitt on fire. And then, because once again, I'm the laziest man in the world, I didn't walk over to the spigot and put a little water on the tip of the mitt. Yeah, that's the whole reason all this happened. So the turkey was wonderful, but it took a long time to get all this sorted out, and our adrenaline was high.
So probably 15 years ago, I was doing some kind of video where I wasn't observing safety protocols, and I don't remember the person's name now, but some garden fork watcher sent me those thick silicone barbecue mitts, and I've used those ever since, and they don't burn. They're red, and I can't remember the person's name, but
that's the kind of thing I got. Now mine are not mitts; mine are actually gloves, so you can manipulate a little bit. But you learn by doing these things, I guess, and apparently you're never too old to learn. So, how are you? Anyway, that is the flaming bags of dog poo that I celebrated Christmas with, plus a burning Yule fence.
That's funny. I actually was quite depressed this morning, and now I'm smiling. So I think I was experiencing the post-Christmas sugar crash because I've been mainlining chocolate and sugar for the past couple days, and today is the day. This is Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, and I only had one piece of pie so far. So,
that was the other disappointment of Christmas. She Who Must Be Obeyed opened the can of evaporated milk to make my favorite pumpkin pie, because we make it from scratch because store-bought pies are not that great. They're not spicy enough. And there was something very wrong with that can of evaporated milk. It didn't smell that bad, but it didn't smell great. And it was goopy and funny colored. And we said, well, this is not going to work. And so I went out at about 1 o'clock or so, I guess, to try to find another can of evaporated milk. I even tried on Nextdoor. I asked some people, anybody got a can of evaporated milk? And apparently everybody was in a turkey stupor.
You mean they weren't complaining about the neighbor?
Who's burning down his fence?
That's all Nextdoor is good for.
We have some. Actually, our Nextdoor it can be contentious, but it's pretty good in a lot of ways. Although, they tend to. There's that group that make you want to think you're living in some sort of dystopian hellhole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Look at here are the statistics, and you show them the graphs and the statistics and all that, and they're like, oh yeah, this place is just going to hell in a handbasket, and I'm like, oh, man, ease up.
I don't want to name any names, but in our small town upstate, a couple of people put American flags on the utility pole that is by their driveway, the electrical telephone pole, and another neighbor did not like that and made the mistake of going public with it, and so the anti-flag neighbor.
How much did his house sell for?
now everyone around the anti-flag neighbor has put flags on their utility poles. I'm like, sometimes you should just let it go. It's your neighbor.
Yeah.
They pay their taxes. They take care of their family. They help other people. Who cares if they put a flag up?
Yeah. Thomas Jefferson said, if what does not break my leg nor pick my pocket, I don't care.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah. And I think he was talking about religion, but that applies to a lot of things. When it's like being married, you got to just have a very fine-tuned volume, and just when you hear stuff like that, just turn it down. When you hear that from your spouse, something's going wrong, just tune it out. Don't respond. Don't get into it. We're coming up on March 1st. I need to think about this. March 1st will be our 50th anniversary.
Excellent.
It's because I have very bad hearing in my right ear.
No, but seriously, that's like in our little town. I mean, I'm sure this is like all little towns. There's a very long memory there. There'd be like, I mean, I made a joke about mayonnaise 20 years ago, and people still bring it up to me. Because it went very bad. The joke went very badly, and it was in a public area. And you remember, Eric, when you said that thing about the mayonnaise? And I'm like, yeah, Meanwhile, I've done other wonderful things for the past 20 years, and you can't live down that. So,
oh yeah.
So
they'll throw it up to in your face forever.
But I mean, I signed on to Nextdoor in Brooklyn, and it just seemed like it didn't have the conspiracy theory noise of Facebook, but yet it was this passive aggressive complaining about neighbors. My neighbor did this, and I'm like, well, just let it go. You can't control your neighbor.
That's right. Stoicism tells us, yes, there are things you can control, and if you can't control it, let it go. Because, which is true. It's kind of like that plaque everybody has, the Serenity Prayer.
Yes. Let's pivot here to something more interesting, which is
I'm talking. That's about as interesting as it gets on this show.
I want to talk about flat tire repair kits.
Okay. I saw that where you had the Patreon post about that.
So because I don't post on Instagram or Facebook anymore, I just post everything on Patreon, which you can follow me for free on Patreon. And there's a paid tier as well. And the paid tier is some more behind the scenes stuff and the podcast after show. But I put up a picture of, I have a Subaru Forester. It's an older 2009, I think. I drove to my neighbor's house and back, and I parked the car. It's an asphalt road. The next day I come out, and one of the tires is flat. And I immediately, I lay my hands on the tire. I kneel in front of the tire, and I just run my hands around the tread as much as I can. I mean, obviously the tread that's on the cement you can't grab. But
I thought you were going to do an incantation of some sort.
Oh, I could.
Heal, tool of Satan.
That's your department, not mine. But anyway, but I felt the top of a screw or something, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, there's a screw that's stuck on my tire. And first of all, I'm thinking, how do these things happen? How is it that the screw is positioned in such a way that it perfectly punctures your tire, and yet the screw was a round-headed screw. It's not a flat head screw, so it can never stand on its end to be sticking straight up. But anyway, I had bought one of these tire plug repair kits I bought the fancy one, which is $15. You can get a $7 one, which works almost as well. And I turned on the camera and I've yet to put up the video, but you take your needle nose or a pliers and you yank out the screw. You can also just use a screwdriver. And I unscrewed it, and it's a machine thread screw. And then you remount the hole with this reamer tool that comes in the kit. And then you have these like 3-inch long rubbery strips of rubber stuff that go onto this little T-handle holder. You coat it with, I think is essentially Vaseline, and you shove it in, and then you yank the holder thing back out, and this strip of rubber, which is called a plug, gets caught in the hole, and then you just slice off the part that's sticking out of the tread. You slice that flush, and you can reinflate the tire, and you're good to go.
Wow.
And it's $7 or $15.
Yeah. I went on the site. I followed the link onto the Garden Fork Amazon store. And I noticed that they also offered that same kit, but with a little battery-powered inflator.
Yes.
And I think that's actually a great idea, because I was looking around the house the other day, and I've got 3 tire inflators. All of them require a cigarette lighter plug to work. And I don't have a cigarette lighter plug in any of my cars. And so I thought, so I bought 2 of the, actually I bought 3. I bought one for the plane as well. I bought 3 of these battery-powered inflators. They work like a champ. They're actually easier to use than the one with the wire, because you don't have to be stringing wire around and everything. And it makes me more prone to check the tires more often and bump them up a little bit when they need to be, which this time of year, as it's cold, if you still got your summer inflation, your tires are running very low.
Yes, because cold air has less, cold tires have a lower tire pressure.
Right. And then, so you can get the entire thing with the plug kit and the inflator from the same people. Just, it's one of those little upgrade things you see next to the link you had. But I really like those, and so now we got one in each car. I also have, because my wife calls me Battery Bob, I also have a can of tire inflator, and flat fix, and and then I have taped to it a tool to pull the core out of the valve stem, so that you can really inflate that, get it good and full with that goop, and then put the valve stem back in. But it beats trying to blow it past the valve stem as you're trying to inflate your tire.
Yep.
That is the last thing I want to do. But sometimes if the hole is really bad, or if things aren't going well, if you got a little leak around the sidewall, or where the bead is on the edge, you have to do something kind of drastic. So I keep one of those in the car just in case. It messes up the inside of your I don't care about messing up the inside of the tire. It's a tire.
Right.
But I do care about messing up the inside of the rim. And tire guys will curse you when you bring one in that has all that goop on it.
Yes, they do. What I did like is it took all of about 3 minutes to put the plug in, and it is not a permanent fix. I mean, you should go to your tire shop and ask them to do, it's called a hot patch sometimes, or an interior patch. They'll take the tire off the rim and they'll patch it from the inside. One of my tires is like that, and I have thousands of miles on it, but the plug is a short-term fix. But if you're on the side of a highway at night, it's a really nice thing. Even if you're not the most handiest person, your kid can probably do it. Your 9-year-old kid can do this, and you can get up back
I
on the
approve
road.
of putting I approve of putting children under the car instead of risking your life.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my car I do not have a spare tire in my car.
Neither do I.
A lot of the new cars don't have that. And the tires for my car, because it's an electric car and it's heavy, are incredibly expensive. So I'd rather just plug it and get going. Something to think about there.
Sure.
Because Nicole just got the same thing happened to her. She ran over a screw or something. And so she went to the dealer, but
She went to have her tires professionally inflated at her dealer. They do it for free, of course,
Yeah.
just to even up the pressure. And when she gets home, she looks down and there's a screw in her tire.
oops. I will say,
Oops.
I'm like I've talked about this before in the show, but going to an actual tire store rather than your regular mechanic for tire issues, I think is a step up. I like my mechanic, but I will no longer go to them for tires because three different times. My last set of tires, I had to go back there 3 times for them to get it done right, and I'm like, okay, I'm not coming here anymore for this.
Well, the hot patch thing, I've been with people who have done that themselves. So it is possible to get the bead over the rim of the tire, reach in there and put a patch on the inside.
Yep.
And to hot patch it, you actually need something that's flammable. And I was with a guy that used gasoline and hot patched with gasoline, and it was contained inside the tire by and large, and it made this wonderful poof.
Yes.
When he lit it. He burned his eyebrows off and his part of his beard, and it was great. So let somebody professionally hot patch your tire for you.
Something. Sometimes you just need the expert.
Yeah. Well, some things are just worth the money.
So I saw my sister over Christmas, and she had a new iPad, and I said, wow, that's really nice. And she said, yeah, I got it it was on sale, a Black Friday sale at Walmart for $275. And
Oh, wow.
my iPad is 8 or 9 years old. I've dropped it 6 times. The operating system takes up about 90% of the memory, the RAM in the thing anymore. And I've been thinking, well, they're expensive, but I'll wait. And then I looked at the Apple Store site, and the same iPad was considerably more expensive. So I went to Walmart just to see, did they still have the iPad? And this is a week after Black Friday, and they had the same sale price for $275.
Wow.
So I bought it, and
Yeah.
I love it. And it came within 2 days. But, there is a big hype about Black Friday. And obviously I send out an email that has some Black Friday stuff in it. And there is affiliate links there. But even if I thought, I missed the sale, but let me go check anyway. A lot of times that Black Friday price either stays or is not always the lowest price. So something to think about there.
Yeah, there have actually been some studies that show that most of the time Black Friday prices are not that special anyway. So, they bump it up just before the sale and say, this is what we're selling it for now. And Black Friday, it's going to be 35% less. Well, that's what it had been normally anyway.
Yeah, the Wirecutter site, which is what part of the New York Times they always do a thing like we looked at 1,000 Black Friday deals. These are the 30 that are actually a deal. And I could be wrong about the numbers, but they essentially do that. And maybe Consumer Reports does that as well. Some of the other consumer sites. But when I do the email, I actually consciously try and pay attention to that. And I'm an aspiring minimalist and not about buying stuff, but I do think the stuff I do bring up, like I have this Milwaukee utility knife now, which I freaking love. And
I bought one of those because of what you said.
They're great, huh?
Yes.
It flips out. It has some extra blades. You don't have to unscrew the thing and take it apart to get the other blades out. And I have so many older utility, like Stanley or Milwaukee utility knives, and they sit in a drawer now.
Sure.
So
some of them are actually, mine are antique now. You know, the two clamshell aluminum
Yes.
pieces.
Yeah,
You have to unscrew them and to get to the blade inside or to change a blade. They've been around a long time, but they can improve on almost anything if you give them a chance.
I have what I call my sacrificial utility knife, which is an older one, the clamshell kind, and it's for working on roofing, especially like tar flat roofing, which destroys anything that you stick into it. So it's full of tar. That would flame up your fence quite nicely.
Well, now I've got this problem of a molten mass of this brute, Rubbermaid brute canister, what's left of it, glued to the patio.
Oh,
It's actually it's actually cobblestone.
Try a heat gun.
No, try that. My first thought was gasoline, but yeah.
Have you not learned, Rick?
No, apparently I never learned.
Maybe be smoking a cigarette while you try that gasoline.
Well, and then I said, no, that's a bridge too far. I'll just use charcoal lighter fluid. But I have not even tried to think about that right now. Just thinking about what's in that can and trying to pick it up with your hands, that's enough to make you just say, well, maybe I'll think about it in the spring.
The fact that it's very cold now might just to make it to physically peel some of it off very easy, actually, because plastic is brittle when it's cold.
Right.
I mean, that might work. Or the heat gun acetone, which is essentially lighter fluid, actually works really well for taking a lot of sticky stuff off.
Yeah, I'll try that. I also there's a little glass square table out there and 2 chairs, and I did manage to burn the webbing off the chairs too.
Wow, this is like a crime scene.
Well, it is, and I'm embarrassed, frankly. You say, how old do you have to be to stop doing shit like that?
We're gonna die doing stuff like that, Rick.
Albert Einstein said something about that. People do not live long enough to learn from their experiences, and they seem incapable of learning from the experiences of others.
Yeah, that's kind of applicable to today, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was all very interesting. If you guys have some thoughts about how not to set your wooden fence on fire while cooking your turkey, that would be great.
Well, the fire department showed up, and they thought I was doing one of those turkey fryer things.
Oh yeah, the deep fry. Yeah.
Yeah, and they came rushing through the gate all geared up because they thought it was really going to be because those things, when they go up big and they go up hot.
It's spectacular. Yes.
They were very disappointed when they walked through the gate, and it was just a little brush fire and some wooden fence. Yeah, some wooden fence.
I would love to hear your oops fire stories. It's gardenfork87@gmail. Gardenfork87@gmail. Rick and I are going to stick around for the after show for the.
Oh, do I have to?
Yeah, because we're going to talk about some interesting things.
Oh.
I've been exploring Amazon Haul, which is Amazon's version of Alibaba, which is a super discount site, stuff you can buy from Asia. Mm-hmm. I was just looking at it before we turned on the microphones here, so I just had some thoughts about that. Not that I'm always trying to tell everyone to buy stuff, but do buy a tire repair kit. You just go to your local parts store and they sell those tire repair kits.
Yeah, but buy one get the good one from Eric's site and add the battery inflator into it, and you'll be very pleased with what you've got.
You'll think about us when at midnight on the highway you're plugging your tire thinking,
And maybe think about a couple of highway flares too.
Oh, yeah, the old school flares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess we ought to go, but I was telling somebody the other day about the joys of driving a two-lane blacktop back in the 70s and 80s at night, and how it was two lanes. It was, you were just cruising along. I was in my 63 Ford Falcon, and I had pretty good momentum going. And when you got momentum in that car, because it's only a 3-gear, 6-cylinder engine, is very anemic. You have to look way down the road to plan your passes.
Yes.
Because you're going to pass all these cars. And how you could plan a single pass, and then you get locked in behind somebody and you lose your momentum. So you want to try to get a double pass if you can. But then keeping an eye on the ridge ahead of you, if there's a little eyebrow of light above it and it's kind of dim, you probably got time to get around that next car. But if it's a really bright eyebrow coming over the top of that hill, that was back when there were games, but driving was a real game. But it reminded me also that they used to use smudge pots. They look like those old cannonballs you'd see in cartoons.
Yes.
For with a fuse on it, and you drop it down the cannon.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they look like. They were maybe about 8 inches wide or around, and there was a flame on the top of it. And people would try to clip those and send them spinning, and you'd see the fire just go spinning off everywhere. And that's what they used instead of all this fancy reflectors and lights on construction sites. And that was always it was a fun thing to. We didn't have a lot of entertainment when I was growing up.
Oh, one more thing with the tire repair kit is I actually have a reflective vest in my kit of stuff for the car, because if you're at night, you're walking around your car and you're pulled to the side of the road, people probably cannot see you, and a $5 reflective vest might save your life.
It is a guarantee people can't see you.
Yeah.
You can buy a set of a reflective vest, and you see these at the different stores all the time. One reflective vest with, 4 or 5 battery-powered reflectors that also flash a light.
Yep.
That you can stand out behind your car. They're not as much fun to fool with as an old highway flare.
Right.
But we used to direct traffic when I was a cop. We'd direct traffic during rodeo season down in San Antonio. And I remember this one guy driving past me. He was obviously pretty drunk. And we used highway flares to direct people. And I threw it at his truck, and he had a bale of hay in the back. And you could see him, the whole thing just flaming up the interstate as he went up the on-ramp and around. And then you could see his whole whole truck catch fire. I did not admit to that, and he couldn't prove it. And so when he drove past me, he learned not to drive past Rick.
You have to realize, everyone, that these old school flares are like a solid rocket motor. Once you start, it's a chemical fire, and you can't turn it off.
That magnesium.
Yeah. So anyway, but the reflective vest, yeah, totally. And you can buy these little blinky light kits as well, which, because if and pull over as far as you can off the road, ideally on an exit ramp or something. Because sometimes people are like, they're just about in the lane and they've stopped, and you're like, you do not have a brain. Listen to us.
Yeah, listen to us. We've lived long enough to do a lot of stupid things.
All right, everyone. Always great to hear from you guys. There'll be some more viewer mail we're going to play in January. If you have it'd be great, a little voice recording, and email it to us, gardenfork87@gmail.com. That'd be really fun to play that. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media, LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com. Bye.